Hi, everybody. I'm Amy Mosco, co-founder of Intentional Healing Systems and the creator of the Divine Purpose Alignment Technique. Now, you probably know that already because this is session 4. So hopefully you have watched sessions 1, 2, and 3, and you have a little information on me if you don't know me already. Okay. So I'm going to get right into it, and I'm going to move fast with this one because presumably you have already watched the other 3 videos. And if you haven't, I suggest that you do because this one won't necessarily make perfect sense to you until you've seen the other ones, at least the first one. Okay, so first I'm going to start by sharing all of the PDF materials to the screen. And if you, again, as a reminder, if you want the support materials that I'm going to be sharing to the screen, you can email me, Amy, AIMEE, at ihsunity.com and just ask for session 4 PDF materials. Okay, otherwise, you can screenshot anything that I share to the screen during the recording of this video, and then you have it anyway. Okay. All right. Hold a second, please, while I share the documents, the PDF document to the screen. Right, and just like the other videos, I'm just going to work through all of the support materials, and then we'll do the activation. Okay, here we go. Session 4. And if you didn't read this the last time I shared it to the screen in the other videos, please read it so you know a little bit about me and about the work. Okay, or screenshot it and read it later. Okay, and this is the next article that I'm sharing with you called Seizing Your Sovereignty. And this, just like the other articles, is from my column in Coachella Valley Weekly called Swag for the Soul. So you can search this article, you can either screenshot it or it's in the PDF, or you can search it on the Coachella Valley Weekly website. Just search by title, okay, or by me, author. Okay, second page, if you're screenshotting. Okay, and the Declaration of Sovereignty, just like the oath to love, the testimony of power, the declaration, or sorry, this is the Declaration of Sovereignty or the Revelation of Divine Wisdom. The Declaration of Sovereignty, you can screenshot it here. It'll be in the PDF. I'm not going to read it to you, but I am going to speak it when we do the activation so you can hear the words and really contemplate and integrate if they feel right, okay? But I'm going to come back to this. All right, so you've seen a document that looks similar to this in the other 3 sessions. This right here, we're going to do an activation related to the levels of embodiment. Okay, you know that you are way more than your physical body. I mean, of course, we know that DNA is also a part of your physicality, but you have all these layers that sit outside of your body that are actually part of this embodiment. They're part of the experience of embodiment, and they feed and support this experience of being ensouled in a body. All right, so what I want to do, or the purpose of this tool really, is to bring your awareness to these other levels of your being that are here with you in this embodiment and really connect with them. Because, you may be aware that you have a spiritual body or a mental body or an emotional body, but you haven't really thought about that. And you haven't really asked that part of you to perform for you in a specific way. Well, this is about raising your awareness and really kind of pulling those parts of you that you can't see into your experiences on a daily basis. Okay. All right. So the activation, the self-activation you'll see below, the 7 levels of your being are first, your DNA. Okay. The smallest part of you, the little molecules that make up all of your physicality. That's the first level of your being. Okay, likely you're aware of this, but you're maybe not thinking about it on a daily basis. Your physical body, well, yes, you are thinking about your physical body on a daily basis, and this is really mostly where your attention is pulled. Okay, then your etheric body, which sits just outside of your physical body, and it acts as a bit of a holding tank for energy that moves into your physical body and out of your physical body. Okay, so think of that etheric body as like a holding tank for energy. And then the next outer layer is your emotional body, okay, where the energy of your emotions are housed. And while you're experiencing emotions on a daily basis, you may not be thinking about this layer of your energy field or directing any attention to it. But it's there and you can work with it, okay? Number 5, the 5th layer that sits outside of you is your mental body. And this is what houses the energy of your thoughts. The 6th layer, the spiritual body. Okay, this is the part of you that houses your spiritual beliefs or your beliefs in general. Or I should say the energy of your beliefs in general. Okay, and then lastly, your earth body. Okay, the part of you that is connected to Mother Earth. I mean, we live here on this planet and she's our guardian. So we are deeply connected to our earth body. Okay. So there's a lot of information online about the various levels of your being, all of these energy layers that sit within and outside of your physical body. So you can do a little more research. I mean, this isn't a class on the 7 levels of embodiment. It's more of a tool and an activation that helps you become more aware of these layers and levels of your being and to work with them consciously, okay, to pull energy in and out of these levels of your being. So the self-activation here, and this is something that also I use on a daily basis, and you may want to do it as well. You may want it to be part of your daily ritual. Okay, just listen to the words here and see if this feels right to you and see if this is something that you want to command of your own energy field. Okay, number 1, I invoke into form through my DNA the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Okay, your divine essence and your divine original blueprint. It's like you're syncing those parts, those blueprints, and your essence with your DNA consciously. Okay, it may be happening anyway, but it's very different. It's a very different experience when you command that to happen and you're part of the whole process consciously. Okay, so I'm going to read that again. Number 1, I invoke into form through my DNA the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Number 2, I invoke into form through my physical body the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Number 3, I invoke into form through my etheric body the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Number 4, I invoke into form through my emotional body the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Number 5, I invoke into form through my mental body the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Number 6, I invoke into form through my spiritual body the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. And number 7, I invoke into form through my earth connection the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Okay, when you do this activation and you say these invocations yourself, you are syncing all parts of your being with your embodiment, with your physical experience in this world. Okay. All right. So moving on, you've seen this before, the 7 layers of self. And this is the same explanation that I've given in the first 3 videos. Okay, so I'm not going to rehash that. And then the affirmations that support the highest divine function of each layer. Okay, because you can also sync these layers of yourself with the 7 levels of embodiment. Okay, because each level of embodiment has an expression of these 7 layers of self. Okay, and the flashcards, you know how to use these if you watched videos 1, 2, or if you watched the first video. Okay, and here's the explanation if you want to comb through it, if you want to comb through the instructions and explanation. Okay, so let me go over the self-development exercise for this 4th session. Okay, it's very similar to the other 3, but there's a little bit of a different element here. Okay, so I'm gonna run through this quickly because you've already heard this several times. So you're gonna do the same. You're gonna sit quietly for a few minutes to center yourself, and then you're gonna focus on your breath. And then number 3, you're gonna state the intention. I choose to bring the essence of my inner spirit into my breath. Okay, really inviting your inner spirit into the whole experience here. Okay, getting out of your ego mind and into your divine mind. Okay, number 4, you're going to breathe with focus and intention and bring that golden energy in. Okay, bring that golden energy of your inner spirit into your lungs, into your physical process. Okay, number 5, you'll focus on your heartbeat and using your heartbeat to slow, or using your breath to slow your heartbeat. And number 6, you'll see that golden energy of your inner spirit circulating through you. Okay, use your visualization to push that inner spirit energy around your physical body. And then number 7, imagine that it's illuminating you from the inside out. Okay, number 8, again, you're going to extend an invitation to your body systems to sync with one another and the rhythm of your inner spirit. And you probably see what's happening here. You're bringing all parts of your being together. You're syncing all parts of your being together. Okay, so every part of you is working in coordination, either toward a goal or just toward your higher degree of awakening. Okay, so number 9, here's where you reference that declaration of sovereignty. Okay, and if it feels right to you, just read it to yourself out loud. You don't have to read it to yourself every time you do this exercise, and you don't have to read it to yourself every single day if this is something that you want to reactivate in your energy field. But you should read it at least once in your own voice out loud, so you connect with the words in your own voice. Okay, you connect with those commands and acknowledgments in your own voice. Okay, and let the energy of those words permeate all of your cells. I am going to read this declaration of sovereignty to you when we do the activation, but again, I suggest that you do it yourself as well. Okay, number 10, then you're going to command your subconscious mind to reactivate the energy of words for you each day if you feel that this is right for you. Number 11, you're going to reference that levels of embodiment activation. Okay, those invocations that I just read to you back here on this sheet. Okay, the activation there, 1 through 7. Okay, reference that. And think about how each of these levels of embodiment are expressed in your life. Okay, number 12. And then you just take a few moments to connect with each level and feel into the energy of them. Okay, it's an interesting experience if you haven't done it before, or maybe you've done it in bits and pieces. You felt into your spiritual layer, but not necessarily your etheric or your emotional layer. Do it and see what sensations come up. Okay, and make a note of those sensations, those thoughts and emotions, because these will be your markers. When you feel those sensations again, then you know, oh, wait a second, you know what? I felt that before when I was when I was really paying attention to my emotional layer. Maybe it's time I go and look in my emotional layer again. Maybe there's a message there for me. Okay. All right. And then lastly, number 13, you're going to circulate the energies of divine remembrance with the affirmation, I am a divine and sovereign being of light. Okay. And that's how the declaration of sovereignty starts out. I'm a divine and sovereign being of light. Okay, this has been a very important tool for me, and I know for some of the other people that I've shared it with, all of the declarations and testimonies and oaths, those are very important tools, but this one in particular has been very meaningful to me. So work with it for a little while and see what you think. Okay, next we have, again, the self-development worksheet, and it is very similar to the other worksheets that I introduced in sessions 1 through 3. Okay, you'll notice number 5 is a little bit different because those, this is specific to the 7 levels of your being. Okay, so this is the self-evaluation part, and you'll follow the same instructions. Number 1 is self-evaluation. 2, using the symbol cards. Okay, if you've decided to use that divination, that deck as a divination card deck. Otherwise, you're going to use your intuition or a pendulum or something like that, a tool that you feel comfortable with. And then you're going to review the levels of embodiment activation, shuffle the cards in number 4 to find out which layer, okay, or level is most meaningful for you to connect with and explore more deeply. Okay, number 5, it gives you some prompts for questions to ask yourself in each one of these layers, okay? And number 6, here's where you're going to identify the layers of self that either need support or they are supporting you, okay? Same as the last 3 self-development worksheets. Okay, number 7, then you're going to state the corresponding affirmations with those 7 layers of self, these. Okay, whichever layers of self you have identified are either supporting you or are in need of support, you will state these affirmations or something similar to either capitalize on that support or to fortify that support layer. Okay. And then number 8, you're going to take some time to contemplate how each level of embodiment impacts your current life experiences. Which ones are influencing you most right now, and which ones do you need to pay attention to the most? Okay, and then every once in a while, do a self-check, just like with all of the other sessions. You're going to do a self-check to make sure or to identify what adjustments you need to make. And then lastly, you're going to close out the exercise with that affirmation: I am a divine and sovereign being of light. Okay, so you will see, I explained the situation with the laminate. You can purchase this if you feel like you want a support tool. It's not necessary, but if you know my work and you've worked with my laminates before, you know that the crystalline coatings in the laminates are pretty powerful and they can be a great support. But again, it's not necessary. But you'll notice on the back side of this tool, on the very bottom, it has all the prompts. It has all those invocations from the activation sheet that I showed you. So, and this is a half laminate, so it's small. It's about half the size of a sheet of paper. So it's easy to kind of put in your purse or in your briefcase, and you could take it with you. Okay, and this right here, this tool, I've been using it as a daily practice. On the front side are all the invocations and affirmations from session 1 and 2, and the back side are all the invocations and affirmations from sessions 3 and 4. Okay, you've seen this before, my mini bio, and then this document with the hot links, if you get the PDF, will guide you to some other exercises and some other information. All right, I'm going to take that down, and then we're going to do the activation together. Okay. All right. Same program. I'm going to share to the screen the activation images and just guide you through this. Okay, session 4, Divine Essence Embodiment. Okay, you already saw this from me in the PDF document that I shared to the screen. Okay, this will remind you what this activation, what these tools are for, and what they are not for. Okay. Okay, embodying divine essence. So you'll notice again that I have highlighted these 3 colors on the top left of this core lesson color wheel. So we've got the magenta, the turquoise or aqua, and silver. Okay, so these are the colors that support the visible light frequencies that support the energies that you generate during this activation. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And if there's a color that you feel very attracted to, don't fight it. If you feel like turquoise is something that is really catching your attention right now, get as much exposure to turquoise as you can. Wear the color, look at pictures of the color, things in nature that are that color, and have the intent to be integrating information associated with that color. Okay. All right. So here we go, 7 levels of being. To recap, DNA, physical body, etheric body, emotional body, mental body, spiritual body, and your earth body connection. Okay, so the first, I invoke into form through my DNA the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Okay, so look at that first image on the top left there. Okay, that is meant to represent your DNA. Okay, notice that little red dot in the middle. That if you can imagine, I mean, what you're looking at is a one-dimensional image on the screen here, but if you can imagine that's a three-dimensional image, right? It's like a sphere. And imagine this encompasses your entire being, okay? That outer layer being your earth connection and the most inner layer being your DNA. Okay, have that visual. And as you look at the image, take yourself deep into the center of your being where your DNA exists. Okay, I invoke into form through my DNA the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. And pull that energy of your inner spirit from your inner spirit, that golden energy that's circulating through you, pull it right into your DNA and circulate it from your DNA through the rest of your energy field. Okay, and into the here and now. Okay, and stick with that for a second. While you're letting that golden energy circulate through your DNA, and then from your DNA to the rest of your layers, through your physical body and through all of those 7 levels of your being, I am going to speak the declaration of sovereignty. Okay, and if it feels right, if the words feel right to you, just make an agreement with yourself to integrate the energy of them. Okay, and then later you can read this declaration of sovereignty in your own voice. Okay, maybe even record yourself so you can play it back and just listen. Okay, declaration of sovereignty. I'm a divine and sovereign being of light. Permission for energetic transmissions, information, and emanations of any kind to enter and affect my energy field must be granted by my higher wisdom and or me. I receive all communications through my higher wisdom. I choose to only grant permission to outside sources and energies that serve and honor my highest and best good in benevolent ways to engage me in etheric communication. I acknowledge my divine birthright and I embrace the magnitude of my divine power. I stand in this power with grace and the steadfast support of the collective universe. I exercise my mastery in the full force of my divine power. I strive to be the purest reflection of my divinity, and I channel the highest light of truth from my highest authority, my higher wisdom. I serve as a divinity mirror, and the energy of such shields my energy field. My brightest divine light shines through my divinity mirror for others to see freely. My light, which I claim through divinely secured channels with my higher wisdom, is mine and mine alone to use at will, to contain or to share if I so choose. When I share, I choose to receive energy for what I give from or through the collective universe in equal measure to keep my energy field in perfect balance. I freely share the light within me that honors greater good through the collective consciousness guarded by Mother Earth. I only follow a path that is illuminated by benevolent divine forces in full alignment with my highest purpose and greater good. I am centered, balanced, and showered at all times with divine light. I am an expression of divine source light and consciousness activated to my highest potential in each moment. I invite, capture, and utilize energy in accordance with the unity paradigm to serve the greater good of one and all. I agree to operate in complete integrity within the sacred boundaries of universal law. I respond only to influences of light because I choose to live above the threshold of fear and the threads of darkness. I am the embodiment of my inner spirit. I am the soul keeper and Godhead of my energy field. Divine permission from my inner spirit with which I am interwoven is required of any entity, energy, or being, conscious or otherwise, to interact or communicate with me or any part of my energy field in any way through worldly conventional channels, etheric energetic channels, or methods involving on or off-world devices of any kind. Permission is only granted by my inner spirit. I only allow other beings to see from or of me qualities, energies, movements, tracks, knowledge, or any other personal information, that which I choose to reveal. All other details remain cloaked and blocked from direct view until I choose to and agree to reveal them. And so it is. Okay, so the Declaration of Sovereignty makes it so when you activate the commands of it and you accept the commands of it, it makes it so your energy field is a closed circuit. Okay, you only accept information in its highest divine and pure form through all of your circuits and all of your networks that have been divinely synced. Okay, this is like your intranet. Okay, if we're comparing it to technology, this is your closed circuit, and you're being the guardian. You have claimed ownership of all parts of your energy field and disallowed any sort of influence that doesn't honor you. You're in charge of all of that influence, okay? Okay, so going back to the levels of embodiment activation, the second part, I invoke into form through my physical body the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Okay, look at that second image on the top left there. Okay, notice that red spot is a little bigger because we're moving to the next layer, which is your physical body. Okay, you've activated the Declaration of Sovereignty. You've invited your inner spirit energy to flow through you, okay, and restore and raise your vibration in your physical body. Okay, divine influences only. Your sacred divine essence and your divine original blueprint. You're inviting that into your physical body. Okay, and asking it to restore anything that needs to be restored to divine perfection. Number 3, I invoke into form through my etheric body the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Okay, the third image, we go, that red ring, that's your etheric body that sits just outside your physical body in your energy field. Okay, invoke your divine essence to flow through your etheric body. Okay, and know that your etheric body in this upshifted form is synced with your physical body and your DNA. Number 4, I invoke into form through my emotional body the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Okay, here we go. That red ring sits outside of your etheric body. Okay, invite your inner spirit, your divine sacred energy, your pure energy to circulate through that level of your being. Okay, and let that energy come into form here as emotions. Okay, influencing your emotions and guiding you toward experiencing your highest degree of divinity through your emotions. Number 5, I invoke into form through my mental body the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Okay, that 5th image, look at that ring. That's your mental layer, your mental body. Okay, where the energy of your thoughts are housed. Okay, and as you begin to circulate or continue to circulate that golden divine energy from your inner spirit through your thought layer, set your intention to neutralize any thoughts that are not aligned with your divine essence and your divine original blueprint. Okay, let that essence go to work for you and clear you, reset you. Okay, so the thoughts that you bring into form here in your energy field are aligned with your divine essence. Number 6, I invoke into form through my spiritual body the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Number 6, see that red ring? It surrounds your DNA, your body, your etheric field, your emotional field or your emotional body, your mental body. It surrounds you. And this is where the energy of your beliefs are housed. Okay, so let that golden divine energy that's circulating through you from your inner spirit clear and reset this layer, this level of your embodiment. Okay, so what you bring into this embodiment is then set to be aligned with your divine essence. And lastly, I invoke into form through my earth connection the sacred energy of my divine essence and divine original blueprint. Okay, and look at that last image. And that's the earth's energy surrounding you and surrounding your entire energy field. It's like imagine that Mother Earth has sent this beautiful bubble around you. Okay, and you're asking for the highest divine expression of that earth energy and your connection to it to surround you and be your guiding force. Okay, and to help you align and sync with your divine essence and your divine original blueprints. Okay. So that's the embodying divine essence activation. And sorry, I'm going to back up for a second. So one thing I just want to point out here as well is, I mean, you can reactivate these activations by watching the video again. And I'll put in in my posts, I'll put in a timestamp if you want to use these sessions as like a daily activation, and you want to just listen to them. You can just meet up with the timestamp that I identify and do the activation. Okay, or just listen to the activation when you're driving to work, or when you're brushing your teeth, or whatever. Or another option is you record yourself stating all these invocations from the activations, and then that becomes your daily practice. Or option C, you can purchase the laminate and then use it as a daily practice to reactivate the energy of all of these activations. Okay. All right. So now I've explained this in the other videos. I'm not asking for payment for any of these activations. This is my offering to humanity, to anybody who can benefit from it. I'm only asking for a donation in return. If you got something out of this and you are comfortably able to give a donation, and it doesn't have to be now, maybe later on down the road, here's my QR code, and you can send a donation to me using that. Okay, or you can email me if you want to purchase the laminate. You can email me at that email address on the screen. All right, I'm going to take this down, and I'm going to thank you again for being with me. Now, if you would like to partake in the live activations, sessions 5 through 18 will be live. It's going to be an ongoing series that I offer. I'll offer everything. And then, after these videos are recorded, I will offer one either every 2 weeks or every month live. But after that, it will be upon request when people request certain sessions. Let me tell you a little bit about the sessions. So there are 13 topics. And if you've studied my work and you know about the 12 core lessons, and then the 13th, it's not really a core lesson, it's more like a culmination of all of the 12 core lessons. If you know these topics, then the topics of the sessions 5 through 17 will be very familiar to you. Okay, so we have grounding, inner truth, self-love, creatorship, purpose, empowerment, intuition, collaboration, wisdom and discernment, inner resources, peace, sovereignty, and mastery. Okay, those are the topics. And what we're going to be doing in those live sessions is an activation that correlates with kind of facing any shadows, any shadow work that you need to do in association with each one of these core lessons. I'm going to give you a tool that will help you identify where the shadows are. Okay, whenever you're feeling stuck, you can go to this tool and say, okay, I know the lesson right now that I'm working on. The core soul lesson is purpose, but I want to identify where that shadow is, why I can't get to the next level with this lesson. That's what these sessions are about. They're not classes, they're activations, and they're tools that you can use to do it yourself. Okay. So those are sessions 5. Those are the live sessions 5 through 17. The 18th session I'm calling Manifestation Lab. Okay, it's about testing out your energy field after you have illuminated these shadows that you've been working on. Right? So those will be live sessions. And if you would like to be on the email list that gets the notification for these sessions and when they'll be held, you can email me at that address that I shared to the screen, Amy, AIMEE, at ihsunity.com, and just ask. It's not a marketing gimmick. It is only for these 5 through 18 sessions. Okay, you won't be dumped into a marketing database unless you want to be. This is specifically for these 18 sessions, or the 5 through 18 live sessions. Okay, you can request to receive the notifications for that, and I will email you. Okay, so I think that's it, and I hope to see you in the live sessions. Okay,